hold and cherish, and that is the way to go. And it's not, to me, a matter of dollars and cents. It's a matter of common sense and sanity. I know that's in short supply where I work, but we're trying. And first, I'm very glad to meet you as a New York Jewish Republican, because I'd heard rumors of your existence, and as an Irish Catholic Republican from Detroit, I feel your pain. I do not believe it is sound policy for the United States government to try to impose any solution in this situation. I certainly do not support giving away land for peace. But this is we've seen the consequences of this in the past. We can point to the Munich Accord, which Mr. Chamberlain so kindly signed for peace in his time. The reality, though, is this has to be determined. I do not want to interfere in the internal politics or the internal decisions of the sovereign state of Israel. I think it is helpful for the United States to do everything it can short of that point. But it is critical. As we respect the sovereignty of the United States, we must respect the sovereignty of our allies, especially the only democratic ally in the region. It is my concern that if the United States tends to get involved and try to impose what it believes to be the best solution to things, often we find that the very people who are trying to force those solutions do not have the best interests of our allies at heart. As I alluded to earlier in my speech, do not forget the courage it took Democratic President Harry Truman to recognize the emergence of Israel and give it de facto recognition and ultimately de jure recognition, because there were elements in the State Department that fought him tooth and nail. And in his memoirs, Years of Trial and Hope, he points this out. And he says that the reason that I did this, and I did it despite so many people in our own State Department, was because the President of the United States is responsible to the sovereign American people. He sets the policies, and they do what they're told. Let's hope we have a president that understands this and implements this as well.
We have time for one more question, and that's, please.
Congressman, your proposal for a Liberty Alliance, could you speak a moment of where that's at, what we can do in support of?
We have the community of democracies, which I said could be a vehicle for that, although there are some problems. I believe Venezuela is one of the instances. Again, the community of democracy is a form of governance. It is a structure. It is a process. It is the fundamental human right that is given to you at birth by your Creator to be free, that must be focused on. This is one of the problems that this administration has had in Iraq. In 2003, I said you cannot impose a democracy upon a nation, but you can unleash liberty and let it evolve through the individual, through the community, and then it works its way up. This is what the United States did. We had town hall democracy before anybody ever thought about Articles of Confederation or ever thought about a constitution. The criticality to me is to advance liberty throughout the world. The practical benefit of this as well is it allows you far more flexibility in effectively achieving that goal than some abstract concept of what a westernized democracy may or may not look like, in which you get involved in several of the details as to what constitutes progress, what doesn't. It is the fundamental commitment to liberty upon which this institution should be based. If there are nations like the United States, like Israel, and like others that are committed to liberty, then I believe they should band together. I believe it is absolutely insane and counterproductive to take scarce resources, scarce time, scarce thought, and then divert them to a United Nations where you can get nowhere. That is a waste. It is counterproductive. It is injurious. What we need to do is start the process of having people that run for office, people that serve in government, understanding that dysfunction is no longer a virtue, that we would prefer to have as an effective international organization committed to the principles upon which the United States, Israel, and other free peoples have been based so successfully and I think that it will work. That's in your hands, too. I already agree with it. Thank you very much.